Hey everyone, GuardianE here with another live reaction and first impression video in Fire Emblem Heroes. Tonight we should be getting the reveal of the next batch of seasonal units for Valentine's Day. Now I've made a slight prediction that we will be getting Valentia-related units, at least a hybrid banner of Valentia units, based upon the fact that we just got Duma as a legendary/mythic hero. We did get those silhouettes, and a very common theory is that one of them may be Ike. So let's just see what they actually have in store for us. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Celebrating a day of devotion. Is that Soren? Missed Ike? Who's... Oh, really? Heroic Exemplar.
My son is a star.
Greil.
But I guess I'm the one who made him that way.
I like his voice. Ooh, look at this purple outline. Faithful Axe Plus, so it's inheritable. Fury 4.
Here's a gift.
Okay, so we're getting Soren, Addled Strategist.
I have no problem with working.
Okay, so
I
here's a
just expect to be
Cavalry
compensated for it.
Blue Tome User. Blar Blooms. That's quite a name. Res Opening 3. Okay, he looks cool. Okay, what's next? So we got Mist, Purest Spirit.
The mercenary group has a lot of expenses.
Alright, so
makes
she is
shopping for everyone pretty
a
difficult.
Cavalry Green Tome user. Grand Blooms, along with that theme. I didn't see what Greil was, if he was infantry or an armor. Okay, so we are getting Stalwart Heart, Valentine's Ike, the very first seasonal Ike in the game. He is an armored sword user. Heart's Blade Plus, so it's inheritable. Radiant Aether. Okay, so he also has Radiant Aether.
Don't bother thanking me.
Okay. Grail's Devoted, Paralogue Story. Okay, that's very exciting. A lot of people suspected that we would be getting Ike, although they thought that Greil was Ike. Let's take a look at the map here to see if there's anybody of particular interest that was added during the map sequence. Is that... Oh! Is that Titania? I think I see Titania, and if it's Titania, it looks like she is a red tome user, if that's correct. So we may be getting a free Titania. Obviously, this is a blind watch, or I've never seen this trailer before, and I'm not looking at the in-game news. Shortly after this video is recorded and published, obviously all of this stuff that I'm speculating will be verified. But it does look like that may be Titania on a horse. A lot of cavalry units, and it does look as though Greil is he in armor? It does seem like it. Okay, well that's very exciting. Let's go ahead and keep going with this. So it's going to start on the 8th of February all the way up until the... until March 8th, so one full month, as per usual. 2 greens on the banner, no colorless, 1 red, 1 blue. Double greens means that will yield the highest chance of getting a 5-star, since there are 2 shared green focus units on it, featuring Greil and Mist. If I had to guess, Ike is going to be the most popular pull on this banner, but we'll see based upon the skills. Greil is obviously going to be very popular as well. And unless I'm mistaken, I think all of these weapons were inheritable. I don't think anybody had an exclusive weapon to themselves. So let's back it up a bit, take another look at the trailer, analyze each of these units individually, see if what they bring to the table. I definitely saw Fury 4 in there, which shouldn't come as a huge surprise. But let's take a step back and watch it from the start. But yeah, so we saw Greil's silhouette in the preview. People were speculating that was Ike, but it seems like they were partially right. Alright. His art's pretty cool. I like his voice, too. He's holding a flower out to us, so he is an armor axe user. Let's pause here, take a look at his skills. So we've got Faithful Axe Plus, 14 might weapon. If unit is adjacent to an ally, grants attack speed defense. Res plus 3 during combat. Not a lot of frills with this weapon. It looks cool. And pretty decent bonuses. I mean, if you're adjacent, you get basically a Fury 3 effect on your character. So that's really not too bad at all. I would say that axes are, there are other competitive axe options. So I'm not really expecting a lot of people to leap towards inheriting this weapon immediately. But it could see some use, and definitely for meme reasons as well. He does come with Aether. Nothing new about that. So we've got Fury 4. Grants attack speed, defense, and res +4 after combat, deals 8 damage to the unit. So we're seeing the next step in the Fury series. Kind of makes a lot of sense because we're getting +1 in each of the stats, which is a good thing. Fury itself was still a powerful budget option. Don't get me wrong at all, but I think with the prevalence and the introduction of all of these new A-slot skills, a lot of premium A-slot skills, they were increasing stats by 5-fold, by 6-fold, by 10-fold, and so naturally I think this is a natural next step. It also deals 8 damage to the unit, which, as many of you know, one of the roles of Fury is to help units get into Vantage / Desperation range, Brazen range, so that'll actually assist in that, because that additional damage increase will help certain units reach the HP threshold. So it does come with Wary Fighter. I missed that the first go-around. I would have instantly known that he was an armor if that were the case. And then Armor March 3. So at the start of the turn, we know all about that. At the start of the turn, if adjacent to another armored unit, grants them both 2 movement. So I gotta say, his kit's not very exciting. It's not, besides Fury 4, which obviously is new, but it's even Fury 4 as an evolution of a skill isn't exciting. Sturdy Impact was exciting because they tacked on like a million effects on it. Fury 4 seems pretty run-of-the-mill, seems good, seems probably pretty desirable, but there's nothing here that sort of shakes the foundation of armors or axe users or anything like that. So I don't know if he's going to be a huge target for people, other than obviously fans of Greil, and there are going to be those out there. But he does come with a pretty run-of-the-mill kit. I'll just leave it at that. So let's go ahead and play.
Here's a gift.
Here's a gift. The axe looks cool, though, I will say that. Okay, so we're going to see Soren, Addled Strategist.
I have no problem with working. I just expect to be compensated for it.
Alright. Well, let's pause, take a look at his Blarblooms. So we got Blarblooms Plus. Alright, so same thing with the previous weapon. It looks like that's going to be kind of across the board. Is +3 to all stats as long as you're adjacent to an ally. It is good. It's very strong. It's just that all of these weapons are facing tough competition, so I'm not entirely sure if people are really going to be jumping. I will say I like it better on mages than I do on melee units. I don't know why. I think it does add a little bit more versatility. If you want to think about these inheritable weapons, they're very similar to Adrift Camilla and Little Baby Azura, because those weapons created a debuff on the enemy if you were adjacent to an ally. So the enemy would basically suffer -4 in all their stats, which is essentially the equivalent of you getting +4 on all your stats during combat. And obviously, in this instance, you're getting +3 to all your stats. So it's just kind of one notch below in terms of just overall stat disparity between you and your foe. So it's definitely powerful. I don't know how desirable they're going to be to inherit. They're probably going to be best served on more balanced stat units that are on emblem teams or teams that want to stick close together for buff purposes. Okay, so we've got Rally Attack Speed Plus, Attack Res Bond 3, obviously synergizes with Blarblooms, Speed Feint 3, if Rally Assist is used by target, inflicts -7 speed on foes in cardinal directions, and Res Opening 3. Alright, so at start of turn, grants res +6 to ally with the highest res for 1 turn. Excludes unit. Excludes unit? That's kind of a weird condition. Why would... It seems like... Not only does it seem like a weird condition, it seems like an unnecessary condition. Because... I mean, I understand the resistance or the fear in having Soren on a team where he always has +6 to res, but it just seems sort of odd. I mean, somebody's always going to get +6 to their res. I don't know what Soren's res stat is going to be, but I feel like if you're going to craft your team together, there's no sense or no reason to limit it so that opening doesn't affect your own unit. I think it's a little weird. I don't know why that exception exists. If you're going to create a team that has Soren with the highest res, why shouldn't you be rewarded for Soren having the highest res and giving him +6 to res each turn? I don't see a downside to that. I don't see a reason why you shouldn't have that. I guess the concern being that buffs shouldn't be self-sufficient necessarily. They try to stray away from that because even in odd attack wave or odd defense wave or whatever those are, those alternate turns, so you're not always buffed. And in instances where there are self-buffs, usually you still have to be adjacent to another ally. So I get what they're trying to do here. I don't think it would have been a broken thing to have res opening 3 also include the unit, but I also don't think it's a crazy powerful skill or anything. I mean, it's fine. It might have some interesting application in Aether raids in particular, because you can slap this on one of the more support characters, and it'll further buff whoever you have sort of tanking hits in the front lines. Let's keep going. But yeah, I mean, his kit seems pretty normal. I like the little flower effect. So we got Mist, Purest Spirit.
A lot of expenses. That makes shopping for everyone pretty difficult.
So if the previous kits were any indication, Bloom's is going to be the similar effect, yeah. So if adjacent to an ally, grants +3 to all stats. She comes with Swift Sparrow, so she joins the Swift Sparrow crew, giving attack and speed +4 when initiating combat. Rally defense res plus for the assist. Res feint 3. If rally assist is used by unit or targets, res -7 in cardinal directions. I don't know. I'm not in love with the feint skills. I think you can creatively use them in certain ways. You could probably force a rally on Aether defense if you configure your units properly and organize them in such a way that forces the rally, which will also force a debuff on the opposing unit. So that could be a good thing. It could be a powerful combination, in fact. Seems like a lot of work for it, but I like having options out there, and I like people having options to run builds how they want to. Green Tome Valor 3. We know what that's all about. Definitely useful during the 2x SP events, and especially during the anniversary, where we have sort of this perpetual bonus double SP EXP throughout the course of the event. So that's always appreciated. Yeah, not a bad kit. Swift Sparrow 2 is still a good skill. I don't think it's going to be before too long where we see Swift Sparrow 3. Res Feint is fine, I guess. Green Tome Valor is pretty good. And Bloom's is a pretty decent tome. So nothing crazy here. Let's keep going. Okay. Alright, here's Ike, the first seasonal Ike, Stalwart Heart.
Thinking about training with my father gets my blood.
And that is Kita Senri doing the art for Ike. Let's pause here. So Heart's Blade Plus, 14 might weapon. Yeah, okay. Same thing we've all seen throughout the course of this trailer. If unit is adjacent to an ally, grants +3 to all stats during combat. Radiant Aether is kind of surprising. Radiant Aether was previously only on Vanguard Ike, as most of you know. It's basically just Aether with -1 cooldown. He comes with Distant Counter for the A slot, so that is immediately and instantly going to make him much more desirable than I think any other unit on this banner. Distant Counter is always a good A skill. You can always find uses for Distant Counter, so it's never bad to have spare Distant Counters in your barracks. Oh boy, he comes with Special Fighter 3. He's just brimming with premium fodder, brimming with premium skills. So Special Fighter 3, previously, I think only available on Brave Ephraim, if I'm not mistaken. So, comes with Special Fighter 3. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 50%, grant special cooldown charge +1 to unit. and inflict special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack, sort of neutering an opponent's ability to charge their special. In the current meta where quick cooldown specials is kind of the name of the game, all these breath skills, all these other cooldown reducing skills all over the place, Special Fighter 3 does have some definitely interesting and powerful implications when Ike is dueling opponents. So, I mean, he doesn't have his Ragnall, obviously, as his sword, so his sword doesn't have distant counter, but he does have distant counter for that A slot, Special Fighter 3, and then even Speed Wave 3 at the start of even number turns grants speed +6 to unit and adjacent allies for 1 turn. It's interesting that they're giving him Speed Wave 3. I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe this Ike is going to be a little bit speedier. Ike has traditionally been kind of a plodding unit, not really quick by any stretch of the imagination, usually having to rely on quick riposte in a lot of instances. But even Speedway 3, that him having this on him doesn't mean he's going to be a speedy unit. I mean, Vanguard Ike had Warding Breath, for example, that boosted his res, and his res wasn't anything to write home about. So the Speed Wave might be a measure to kind of balance out his stats or supplement his speed so that it's a little bit more usable. So I don't know if we can really glean anything from that with respect to kind of his stat line. But it does seem as though, at least as far as premium skills are concerned, Ike definitely has it going on, has a lot of great skills at his disposal, exclusive skills at his disposal even with Radiant Aether. So seems like out of the 4, he is kind of the one to go for. Now, he is a sword armor, of course, and so he's facing some pretty heavy, tough competition against Zelgius and Black Knight, which is very appropriate, of course. But Zelgius and Black Knight are amazing units, amazing tanky armors, and both of them come with uninheritably Black Luna, which is one of the most powerful specials in the game, if not the most powerful special in the game. So, that being said, Ike is basically in direct competition with Zelgius and with Black Knight. Now, Zelgius and Black Knight have pretty good speed and really pitiful res. If this Ike has some decent res, that might actually balance him out. And I could see a lot of teams kind of switching it up and using this Ike. This Ike is also obviously in direct competition with characters like Winter Tharja, for example. Other red tanky armors, but his kit is definitely a strong one, and depending on his stat line, Ike fans should definitely be happy that they're getting another Ike, and that this completes Ike Emblem, basically. We've got Brave Ike, we've got Vanguard Ike, we've got regular Ike, and now we have Valentine's Ike, so that is Ike Emblem. For those of you out there that wants to take this team and run into Arena with it, now is your opportunity. So let's keep going.
Don't bother thanking me.
Okay. Greils Devoted. So we're going to get this new Paralogue story, which will obviously give us a number of free orbs in the process. From the looks of it, Red Cavalry Titania might be back there, which is very exciting. I'm sure that all of you will correct me if I'm wrong in who is on that map, but seeing a new free unit in the back is always, especially a seasonal, is always exciting for me. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the banner, if you are excited for any of these units in particular, if you are going to be pulling for it. I wish you the best of luck. I hope you get all of the ones that you're looking for. For me personally, I might dip in a little bit for Ike. I haven't really decided yet. I'm not entirely sure. Obviously, the Love Abounds banner from last year will be making a reappearance, so it'll run concurrently with this banner, presumably. And that banner treated me very poorly last year. I didn't get a single one of them. I would love to have another opportunity to get Valentine's Lyn, so I might go for Love Abounds Lyn. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things go. We'll see how I'm feeling once this banner actually hits. Hopefully you enjoyed coming along for the ride and watching the trailer for the first time with us. If you did, please feel free to leave us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. We thank you so much for watching. We really, really do appreciate it. And until next time, let's protect those skies.